You ready for some fresh marketing?
I am. We turn our attention to the NBA when the offseason just keeps rolling on.
Well, there's always a rumor, right? There's always a rumor. And this is the way, we love to do our content. And so here it is. And this one is courtesy of none other than Shams.
Shams Charania.
Shams Charania, The Athletic, fresh marketing. This is what he's hearing on Lauri Markkanen. Point one, and this is one that I do think we've touched on a little bit, which is just the belief in whether or not the Jazz are actually looking to trade him or not. So this is interesting. Quote, the Jazz have operated in concurrent lanes with Markkanen's future, open to listening to trade offers from serious suitors while also maintaining interest in keeping him as a franchise centerpiece. It has been reported many times that in league circles, most believe the Jazz are just on a fishing expedition. They want to keep Markkanen, but especially after seeing what happened with Bridges and that deal where he went to the Knicks for, all of the Knicks' future. Let's put him out there and see if somebody will give us a redonkulous offer. Well, that's where we sit. And remember, August 6th is when Markkanen becomes eligible for an extension. And of note, if he signs it on that day only, he remains a possibility at the trade deadline. But if they wait even one day and sign it on August 7th, Markkanen is with the Jazz for the entire upcoming year, at least, not eligible to be traded before the trade deadline. So the Jazz are clearly in a rebuild, and teams are wondering about Markkanen's future and fit, because do the Jazz want to break off that kind of money while they're in the middle of a rebuild? Utah officials like him. They want to keep him. Only if they're wowed with an offer do they give him up.
Makes sense.
That's point one.
Okay. And if I'm Utah and I have a player who is that good, and I think that he is very good, then of course you'd want to keep him, make him the centerpiece of your ongoing rebuild. And there is a salary floor in the NBA that you have to meet, and that would take care of that worry, and you'd have Markkanen for 5 years or however long you can extend him, and you move from there and you try to build with pieces around him. I don't think that you're in full tank mode, but then again, if you do get wowed by a trade proposal, you could be swayed to make that move.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, by the way, Giants fans, Javi Lopez joins us in 10 minutes. Willard and Dibs with you here in the morning this week. All right, here's point two. Shams reports the most engaged team for Lauri Markkanen in recent weeks is the Golden State Warriors. They are the team on the phone the most. Now, his report says that the Warriors, check this is interesting. This will grab your attention. The Warriors' current offer is centered around multiple first-round picks, multiple pick swaps, and multiple second-round picks, and Moses Moody. That's the Warriors' reported current offer.
Take Moody and a bunch of F them picks.
And all the picks.
Right, because whatever, picks.
First-round picks, second-round picks.
Pick swaps.
And pick swaps.
Yes, you can have it all.
You know what a pick swap is, obviously. The Jazz's right to switch spots with the Warriors if the Warriors' pick is better. Okay. The Jazz have countered asking for all of that draft capital and all of the Warriors' young talent. So, yes, Moody and Kuminga and Brankin Kumkimski and Brandon Pajemski. And that thus far for the Warriors has been, quote, a non-starter.
Right. And as I'm reading it, it says from Shams, along with picks, probably not the same multitude of
Maybe
picks
not.
Because you're going to get a, quote, bulk of young talent. So you're going to give up Moody, Kuminga, Pajemski, and probably a couple of picks and a couple of pick swaps in there for Lauri Markkanen. Looking at these two different alleged proposals, as reported by Shams, they seem pretty far apart. And if I'm the Warriors, it's going to be a no for me, dog, when it comes to Kuminga and Podziemski. I don't think you want to trade Pods. He just almost messed around and had a triple-double in Summer League for the unbeaten Golden State Warriors, by the way.
Yeah, they've been great.
Click and roll at summerleague.org.
No,
they look good.
All three are good players. I even like Moody. These are good NBA players.
But if you're the Warriors, you're not going to part with all three of your young assets and a couple of picks to acquire Lauri Markkanen.
I largely agree with your assessment. I don't agree that the Warriors and Jazz are far apart. Because what I would argue is that both of these offers are early and ridiculous. In other words, the Warriors are not getting Markkanen for just Moody. And also, the Jazz are not getting everybody. That's not how it's going to play. And it is July 15th. The deadline for this conversation is largely still 3 weeks away. And so both sides are like, this is what we want. And the answer is going to be no to both.
Sure.
You're not giving up everybody, and you're not getting him for Moody.
True.
And nothing else. And I know that all the picks are not nothing else, but you understand, I'm talking about actual players.
I think for me, if this is going to get done, it comes down to Moody and either Kuminga or Pods.
Correct.
And multiple picks and probably a couple of pick swaps.
Correct.
And as you and I talked last week about the roster, and we had Steve Kerr on, and we didn't ask him about this specifically, but in previous conversations, Steve has talked about his rotation and ideally it being a nine-man rotation. Maybe 10 at the most. And right now you look at this roster, and they've got 12 guys who can and should warrant some playing time, assuming that they're all healthy. And that's not going to work. And you saw it last year with Moody when he was in and he was out. He was kind of the odd man out in the rotation. So from a roster build standpoint, it makes a lot of sense to send out 2 players and get back 1. Maybe you end up sending out 3 players to get back 1.
Well, there could be other salary matchers and things like that. Looney,
it could be GP2, exactly.
Sure.
But my point is it's not going to be Moody, Kuminga, and Pods. That's a deal breaker for the Warriors. But if it's Moody and Utah's pick of Kuminga and Pods, and you're Utah, which one do you pick?
Well, Tim McMahon says Pods.
Utah would rather have Pods than Kuminga. Okay,
that's what he said.
Yeah,
and he said he does not see a deal happening without Podziemski, period.
Yeah, and that
deal breaker.
And I wonder if that's also a deal breaker for the Warriors.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, that's why I don't find them far apart. If the Warriors are sitting over here going Moody and the Jazz are over here going no, all 3, well, your obvious meet in the middle spot is 2 players. The Warriors and Jazz both agree that Moody would be in the deal. The Jazz want Kuminga and Pods. The Warriors want to give up neither. Isn't the meat in the middle? Give us one of them. Give us one. And Tim McMahon says that person is Pods. And so, how's that deal sound? Moody, Pods, and a bunch of picks. Yes or no?
For me, it's a yes, but I don't know. It really comes down to how the Warriors feel about Kuminga versus Pods. If they want this deal to get done and Utah wants Pods, maybe the Warriors are only interested in trading Kuminga or vice versa. That will be an interesting one to watch as this develops.
No doubt. Oreo Cookie in Oakland wants to weigh in. What's up, Cookie? What are you doing?
Hey, what up, man? Good morning to both of you guys.
Yeah,
welcome to the Morning Roast.
It's a nice uptick right there, Cookie.
I do want to say, all due respect with marketing, I'm going to take the words from KD. Who are you? There's no way that I'm going to be doing my future for this guy, man. I don't even know what Utah, is a good team or not. But when you come out here to the Bay and you playing with Stephen Curry, there's a totally different limelight out here. I don't know how he's going to react out here, and I'm not willing to trade my future for him, especially for a guy that I don't even know. The only guy that I would trade is a guy that likes to punch out new money.
And there he goes.
And he's out.
Yeah, he's gone. I mean, listen, there are a lot of people who agree. I'm not sitting here saying it's a Markkanen or bust situation, but let's not do who are you. He's an all-star.
Right.
And he's someone who, for the last 2 years, if you blend them both together, has averaged about 24, 25 points a night in the NBA. If you want to call them empty stats because they're in Utah, go ahead and do that. Don't blow off Lauri Markkanen. There's a reason the Warriors are so interested, and they are. They are. They are legitimately interested and focused, and they're not stupid. They make mistakes.
Of course.
Lauri Markkanen's a player.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a great player. He's an all-star. And if you're looking at your roster and you've got 12 players right now who are highly playable, and that's too many, you got to find a way to offload a couple of pieces. And if you can do that and bring in a guy who is a certifiable all-star, then you make that move. Hard choices have to be made to maximize the Steph Curry era.
No, that's the answer every time. And did you hear his comments that Dunleavy made about Steph over the weekend?
I missed it.
Whatever he wants, I'm very confident he'll be a Warrior for the rest of his life.
There you go.
Straight quote. So 888-957-95.